So here's another interesting tidbit from the internet. Seattle CEO, who set firm's minimum wage at $70,000 a year, has now hit hard times. So this is very interesting. This is a continuation of a story from about 3 months ago where Dan Price, a 31-year-old Seattle CEO, actually raised the wage of everyone in his company to $70,000 a year. So he got a lot of publicity, and everybody said that he was kind and benevolent, and that this was the right way for capitalism to work, that people need to pay a lot more, and all these greedy CEOs and capitalist pigs that they're doing it wrong. Okay, well, he did it the quote-unquote right way, and now, if you actually take a look at the story, and I'll send you the link, it'll be posted below, he's actually renting out part of his house to make ends meet. So very interesting. From $1 million, and here it is, from $1 million to $70,000 a year, now he needs to rent out his house after 3 months. This is not like he's been doing this project for 5 years and he's figured out that it's not working very well. It's 3 months later. A guy who was a millionaire, who's making $1 million a year, now has to rent out part of his house. Oh, so it must be a success story, right? Oh, yes, it's very successful. It's so successful that some of his better employees, or most valued employees, left the company because they felt like they didn't get much of a bump. Because if you think about it, a financial manager, maybe in theory they were making $60,000, but if they get a raise to $70,000, well, that's still a sizable increase. But the janitor, who is making $35,000, is also making $70,000 now. Now, does anyone really believe that a janitor has the same skill set or knowledge or even attitude that is equivalent to a financial manager? Is this the world that we live in now? Can anyone make this argument? Yeah, anybody who does that, we have a name for them. It's called a communist. Yeah, that's what a communist is. So if you say yes, you're a communist, okay? Because to each person is measured by their own needs, right? Not by what they can do. So let's go full-blown communism, okay? Another person, Grant Moran, 29, also quit, saying the new pay scale was disconcerting. Now the people who were just clocking in and out were making the same as me. It shackles high performers to less motivated team members. Well, no shit. If you're going to pay a guy to pick his nose, $70,000, and you're going to pay a guy to perform whatever the most complex financial decisions in the company, well then why would you work harder? You might as well just work extremely poorly. You're going to make your $70,000 one way or the other. So this should not be surprising to anyone, but I guess Dan Price, after 3 months, now gets to enjoy his hard times. And I predict that pretty soon he's going to have to change his ways. Otherwise, the company's just going to go bankrupt. And here's the beauty. If the company goes bankrupt, this will show once again that overpaying employees is not the way to go. If you overpay employees, then you're not competitive in the market. Other people will outbid you, will sell their services or products at lower prices, and then you're going to go out of business. And guess what happens to all those people that were overpaid? All the people that were overpaid will now make $0 a year. Instead of making $35,000, which is what they should have been paid, because that's what other companies and that's what the market said they were worth, instead now they will get paid nothing. So why is this important? I mean, you don't work at this company probably. There's about 70 employees in this company. And so why is it important? Because this is the principle of supply and demand. And a lot of people ignore supply and demand constantly. And I'm tired of hearing all these minimum wage arguments about how we need to raise the minimum wage and how people need to earn a living wage and all this other stuff. This is the same principle. Supply and demand also applies to wages. It's just a price. If you raise the price of something, the demand will decrease. So I'll give you an example. For products, if you raise the price of a PlayStation 4 to $10,000, the demand is going to drop because it's too expensive. If you made the PlayStation 4 free or $1, you would have lineups and it would be out of stock immediately. It's the same thing for labor. If you make the price artificially high, so if somebody's worth $5 an hour, but you say the minimum wage is $15 an hour, guess what? The demand is going to drop because nobody can hire. If I'm McDonald's or Burger King, I cannot hire someone for $15 an hour unless they can actually have an economic output of more than $15 an hour. So if they can make $17 an hour worth of economic output for the company, or $20 an hour, or $25 an hour, then I can hire them. But if I hire them for $15 an hour and all they can do is maybe make $10 an hour for the company, that means I'm losing money. And when you lose money, you go bankrupt eventually. And once again, would you rather get paid $15 an hour, okay, for 2 months, and then get paid $0 an hour, or would you rather get paid $8 an hour for a year? Because that's what McDonald's is doing, okay? McDonald's reveals its answer to the $15 an hour minimum wage. And you can see here are the new kiosks, okay? So they're just not going to hire people. You cannot force businesses to lose money. Businesses cannot lose money by definition. And I know a lot of people are angry and they think that they're not paying living wages. Minimum wage jobs, the name in it says it itself. It says minimum. It doesn't say maximum wage. It doesn't say fucking awesome wage. It says minimum wage. So what do you expect you're going to get paid? Do you think you're going to be able to drive around in a Ferrari? Do you even think that you should be able to own a car and to have a mortgage and have 3 kids and 2 dogs and have nice barbecues on the weekends? No, it's a minimum wage. It's not a fucking awesome wage. I don't understand why people think it's so difficult. All these people complain, oh, I can't get a better job. You know why you can't get a better job? Minimum wage jobs are supposed to be a step ladder to higher paying jobs. You're not supposed to stay in a minimum wage job forever. You know, if you go back 20 or 30 years ago, who worked at McDonald's, who worked at Burger King, who worked at the retail outlet shops? It was kids. 20-year-old kids, 16-year-old, 18-year-old kids, whatever the age limit may be, or the age minimum before they can start work. Those are the people working those jobs because they're supposed to get experience. They're supposed to use that money to go, buy some comics or go watch some movies. The point of the job is not to support a family. But because we have these asinine minimum wage barriers in the way, if I am an unskilled worker and I want to work at McDonald's now, unless I am unbelievably good at my starting job, they won't even hire me because they can't lose money. So what happens? Now, because I can't even get my first job, I can't improve skills. So I can't get to a better job. So is it a wonder unemployment is so high? Is it a wonder why so many people are out of the labor market? And here's the other thing. If $15 an hour is really the answer, why not make it 16? Why 15? Why not make it 20? Why not make it $300 an hour? Tell me. Huh? Tell me. Because we all fucking know that if we pay $300 an hour for a fucking idiot at McDonald's to spit in your burger and to serve your food cold to you, that no one's going to pay $800 for a shitty burger. Huh? No one's going to pay for that. And this is the same reason why mentally disabled people, okay, are not subjected to this law. Because they knew that if mentally retarded people were subjected to a $15 an hour minimum wage or $5 or 7 hours wherever you may live, that they wouldn't get hired. So why is it that those people don't have to pay attention to this law? Why is that? Huh? Because they know that there will be no jobs for them. And it's the same reason for unskilled workers. So this is McDonald's answer. And this is happening everywhere. Here's another article. It's talking about a Chinese factory. So it's actually in southern China, in Dongguan. And it's actually replaced 90% of humans with robots. And actually the production has soared. So before, there was about 650 employees at the factory. But now there's only 60. Now you'd think, oh no, there's lots of robots, maybe it's not as good, the quality has dropped. No, actually, the production has increased. The product defect rate has dropped from 25% to 5%. So look at what the government is doing. The government is employing all these stupid ways to increase the cost of labor, therefore decreasing the demand in labor. So people aren't going to get jobs. It's not rocket science. So the next time you guys think that the minimum wage is a good thing, think about it. Really, think about it. Do you want to pay $300 for your burger? If the answer is no, then you don't want minimum wage. Yes, some people have tough lives, but they're not supposed to stay on those jobs forever. That is not the point of a minimum wage. So let's eliminate the minimum wage, and let's see this Mr. Dan Price go bankrupt very soon.